right, another huge win here for the South Florida Gold, improving to 11-0 on the 2018-2019 campaign, a 153-97 win over the St. Pete Tide. They certainly cannot get the job done without this man, Javon Smith, 20 huge points off the bench. Javon, not expected to be a big contributor in the scoring column, more on the defensive end, the energy end, but you came in there in the first half and really helped out.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So obviously, coming into this game, your role was expected to be more, as I said, on the defensive end, come in there and infuse some energy minutes and whatnot, rebound the basketball, but you found your way to 20 points. How did you find yourself so offensively involved when that's normally not your role?
Well, yeah, I like to drive to the basket a lot, so that wasn't a problem. Like I said, I play more defensive side. I get the steals. I get my team more energy. I'm coming off the bench, getting more energy. Like I said, I was kind of surprised I scored 20 points.
Certainly, and again, one of the differences between the South Florida Gold and the rest of the teams in the ABA is the depth. Guys like you coming in off the bench there, along with some of the other ones, some of the depth that we've seen on display. How do you, along with the rest of the guys, buy in to what Coach J.R. Gamble's selling, specifically saying the fact that almost all of you so talented, can do so much more, but you all are able to take on a specified role? How are you able to do that on a night-in, night-out basis?
Well, it's like we kind of start out slow sometimes because we like to play around, but then we start to get it serious. Like our third quarter is our strongest quarter. We keep it going, we get it started and all that, and then at the end of the day, we get it done.
And we certainly saw that on display tonight. Again, improving to 11-0. The South Florida Gold are on a mission to get the ABA championship down here in South Florida. Javon, any personal goals for you as we head into this second portion of the season? Again, you're a bench player. You're someone who's more of a role player on this team, but again, a huge contributor coming in here tonight. What do you see for the rest of the season for yourself and this team?
Well, for myself, play defense. I got to get it done on one end. I'll get it done on the other. Maybe win Defensive Player of the Year. Main thing is we got to win the championship.
And that would certainly be a huge feather in your cap, as well as the entire team. Again, they improved to 11-0 tonight, and they're on a mission to head to St. Louis and take down the ABA champions and bring home that title here to South Florida. Cool.
Here we go, let's check it. How great is our God, sing me. It's good, you hear me good? Okay, I'm good.
Coach J.R. Gamble in a very festive mood after a 153-97 victory over the St. Pete Tide, improving to 11-0 on the 2018-2019 campaign. Coach, very close game in the first quarter. On into the second quarter, you were able to pull away there towards the end of that second quarter, and of course on into the second half. What was your game plan coming into tonight, and what did you expect to see from the Tide?
Well, I expected to see the energy. I expected to see them ready to compete. We just played them last Saturday and played very well over there. I saw some new faces. I saw new names on the roster, some guys that can really play.
Sure.
And hats out to them. They came out and played very inspired basketball. And we kept telling our guys, we got to compete, we got to compete. We're not expecting every game to be easy.
Absolutely.
But let's compete. And then after a while, you saw the togetherness kind of overwhelming.
And the South Florida Gold traditionally are able to run away from teams earlier on. This one played a little bit tighter on in late to that second quarter. Was that what you were expecting from this team, or were they able to throw you off your game plan a little bit?
Not necessarily throw us off, but we realized that they had some quality players and they were energetic and be excited to kind of defend themselves from a big loss last week. So we expected energy from them. In the huddle, we're saying, hey, it's okay. Let's compete. Let's play. And let's beat a good team in like manner.
Absolutely. And Coach, traditionally the outside shooting has always been a key aspect of the offense for the South Florida Gold. Didn't see a tremendous amount of outside shooting tonight, at least in the early portion of the game. But you're able to see Chuck McRoy really step up, throw the team on his back. He's been really shooting the basketball very well over the last couple of games. What strides has he made to really put that leadership role on his back and really take this team forward?
Well, one of the things I try to do as a coach is empower my players to trust their instincts, to play with confidence, and don't settle for less than your ability. Chuck McRoy is very skilled,
Absolutely.
and we want him to be confident and to play. We play him at a post position, though he's a guard, so it creates advantages for us because he's got size and athletic
Sure.
ability and ability to handle the basketball. But for all of our guys, if we're sharing the ball, we get good quality shots. Tonight, the three-point line wasn't the advantage. Attacking the basket was our advantage with our size and strength.
And Coach, you saw throughout this game, and it's happened many times here for the South Florida Gold, things can get a little bit chippy. You can see some crosstalk between the two teams. How do you control your guys and keep them reeled in and not let them get out of the game plan? Is that where the gray hairs come from?
Yeah. It's the ABA. Guys you're going to compete.
Sure.
You're going to get after it. I understand that. I continue to preach professionalism, focus, understanding. I want them to understand, compete, but don't allow yourself to get thrown off. And sometimes it happens, and I have to take them out of the game to get them to calm down a little bit.
And that's certainly where the depth comes into play. We talked to Javon Smith earlier on, 20 points off the bench. Were you expecting him to be a big part of the offense tonight, or was that just a pleasant surprise?
A little bit of both, where, shout out to him for being ready to play.
Huge game from him.
He hasn't played a lot of minutes, but I came into the game in my brain already knowing I'm going to put him in the game right away. And he plays with a lot of energy and excitement. He doesn't worry about anything. He's going to just play his best, and he has such a high motor.
Right.
He is fast. And sometimes you got to put him out there when we have a slow start, where he can get out there and make a difference.
Certainly a big adjustment there by Coach J.R. Gamble, and those two-way players are certainly one of the differences between the South Florida Gold and the rest of the league. Coach, we're heading rapidly towards St. Louis in the ABA playoffs. You look at the rest of the calendar. Any other games remaining? Obviously, every game's important, but is there any game that kind of stands out to you that's left before you hit that playoff schedule?
We got a couple of games. Tomorrow night we play, or tomorrow afternoon we play 305 down in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of respect for them. They're a well-coached team and got a lot of skill out there, so we've got to come out and play defense. Of course, Jacksonville's on the schedule, and so we want to take it one game at a time. But for me, our practices are huge. I want to send a message to my team that we got to get in here and compete because we only have a few left to try to get ready for St. Louis.
And I think I saw Chris Cromartie running some suicides there in the game earlier on. So you're already on them a little bit for some of their missteps in this game, but a couple of big road games, some home games still left to go as the South Florida Gold looking to push towards that ABA championship coming up in a couple of months in St. Louis.
Thank you.
Good job, Coach. Game.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.